Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I want to say hello first and foremost. But second of all, I want to let you guys know that I was reading about Steve Harvey being let go of a couple of his shows. As you guys know, or may not know, he was dropped from his daytime show. I guess he's being replaced by Kelly Clarkson. And then also his show Little Big Shots moved on and kind of let him go. And Steve said something really interesting about the layoff that I really wanted to share with you guys because I think there's a great lesson in this. Steve Harvey, he ain't all bad. He ain't all good, but he ain't all bad. Sometimes he says something that's wise, and I figure out a fairness to the brother because y'all seen me say things toward him that reflected how I felt about some of the stuff that he said. But then there's some areas where I think you have to give props where it's due. So let me read this. Hit the thumbs up button as I pull this up. Please hit that thumbs up button. All right, so here's what he said. Basically, he said, let me go down here. He was talking to a brother in the audience, and the brother was talking about getting laid off, and he was basically saying, what happens when you put out applications and you're doing your best, and they either laid you off or they don't want to give you the job, things like that. And so Steve responds and he says, well, first of all, let's look at the layoff for what it was. It was time for you to go. And sometimes, man, we don't jump. Sometimes we get pushed. Now, Steve is a spiritual guy, so he went to a God and he said, you see, God is really fair. And when he wants you to do something else and you won't do it, he'll bring about a set of circumstances that will cause you. So now, here there's obviously something that you should be doing instead of what you was doing. And then he basically asked the guy what his gift was. And the guy said that his gift was cooking. And Steve said, well, if cooking is your gift, then why are you working in a computer store? And I thought that was really fascinating because a lot of us run away from our gifts. A lot of us, I guess, we don't feel that we have the right nor the ability to monetize our talents. So we go monetize somebody else's talents or monetize for somebody else on things that are not our talents. And we end up wondering what our true purpose was, and you don't know what it was. You end up wondering the what ifs because you're living the wrong life. Some of y'all are living a life you should not be living. Some of y'all are doing things you should not be doing. You're in a place that you know you shouldn't be, but you're too scared to sort of go and find out where these other places are that you're supposed to be. So sometimes rejection is the greatest thing that ever happened to you. It's like think about a bad relationship. I remember once I dated a girl and I thought I was in love and I really wanted to be with her and everything, but she didn't want nothing to do with me. She said I'm ready to move on and I like this other man and blah 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 blah. Well, I was really sad about it, but I found out later on that I was being pushed away. And you know what happened? A few months later, I met an amazing woman who was 10 times better than the woman I was with before. And I was like, okay, so now I know why that was a wonderful thing. Now I know why I was being pushed. I was being pushed toward a better situation. And sometimes we don't let go of the things that are holding us back the most. You got something that's holding you back, and you can't let go of it because you're scared of what's going to happen when you let go. And the thing about it is that I found that the universe has a way of catching you, and you have a way of catching yourself. You got the power and the ability to survive. Remember, you're the descendants of the people who survived the Middle Passage, who survived 250 years of the most brutal, worst forms of slavery in the history of all mankind, who survived 40 years of Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Right? So the fact that you survived all of that means you can certainly survive when that white man decides he want to lay you off on your job. So anyway, it also says Steve Harvey also says you got to understand how it works. Your life ain't nothing but a book. I happen to be 62 years old, he said. In the 62nd chapter, I got my finger on the corner of the page. All I'm doing is I'm about to turn it. I can't wait to see what God's got for me on that other page. And I agree. I think that what I've also noticed about life is that what tends to shape your reality tends to be what's inside of you. If you're always a hardworking person, always a person that's optimistic and moving forward, always a person who's strategic and making plans and networking and doing your best, you're gonna land somewhere good. You're gonna land somewhere good. You'll probably land in a place that you least expected, but you're gonna be somewhere good. Now, somebody who has bad habits, a shitty person who's lazy and treats people like crap and lives a bad life, well, they're going to end somewhere bad. You usually get what you deserve in life. The universe has a really crazy way of balancing things out, where in the long term, if you are consistent with your strategy, you gonna get what's coming to you, whether it's good or bad. So don't be going around fucking people over, because that's gonna come back and get you. But if you go out here and you're doing good things and you're a good person and you're working hard and you're doing your best and you're doing what's right and you're following your passion, you gonna get what you deserve too, in a good way. So I like what Steve said. I don't care what anybody says about Steve on and other stuff, and it's fine. And y'all have heard me personally say things where I've really disagreed with what he said, but out of fairness to the man, I got to give him props on this particular piece of advice, and I'm glad he spoke up on the vulnerability he felt with being laid off from the show. He actually said on Instagram later on, it was like talking to myself. And so Steve knows a little bit about rejection. It looks like Steve's going to move on and be fine. I don't know what the deal is with all these firings. I honestly suspect there might be something else going on, that maybe they're trying to head off controversy, because you got that thing going on with his wife and the rumors of the divorce, and then her ex-husband threatening to write that tell-all book and revealing her crazy life with the feds and watching and all that. Maybe they don't want all of that on top of their host, and I can see that, because shows like Family Feud and daytime TV and Little Big Shots, those are very like white friendly kind of like cushy toilet papery kind of shows. Like that soft cottonelle toilet paper, I think is what it's called. That feels real, like it's real. They're real soft, fuzzy kinds of things where they're not ready for a host who's really having a real life. A real black man is having real black man problems. I don't think they're ready for that, and so really seriously, having a wife whose ex-boyfriend just got out the pen is about to try to burn down your house, with a tell-all book. Those are some black man problems. Now those are white people problems. White people get those problems too, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Most of y'all can relate to this, and so I honestly think that Steve is in an interesting world where there's a lot of financial rewards that come with that, but there's a lot of vulnerabilities as well. It's very difficult for a black man to really do well in mainstream America, mainstream TV, especially if he's a straight black man and he's living, he's really interacting and engaging with other black people. Like Michael Strahan does daytime TV, but Michael ain't really out there like that. So anyway, anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button before you go. Also, actually, if you're interested in things that can keep you motivated and focused on a goal setting and things like that, we have a program that does that in the Black Business School. The first month is totally free. Feel free to go check it out. I break down how to set goals, how to manage your time, a time management system that'll help you really accomplish anything, how to deal with obstacles, overcome haters, all of that stuff. All the strategies I use in my own life, I put it all, documented it all in this special program. So if you want to go check it out, go to blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Peace.